Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, aka Mr. Long Island, and today our guest is Tricia Green from the Wyandanch organization. Tricia, thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
And we're going to talk about Wyandanch Village, which is part of Wyandanch Rising,
Correct.
which is really a rejuvenation of a really important community on Long Island. Tell us a little bit about Wyandanch Rising, and then we'll get into Wyandanch Village, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Well, Wyandanch Rising is an overall rejuvenation of the Wyandanch area. So that included the development, which is called Wyandanch Village, which includes our multi-use buildings, which has both apartments and retail spaces and commercial building, in addition to sewers, which are something that within the Suffolk County area is one of those things that's just starting to grow. And in order for us to have the development, the sewers had to be in place first. And so that infrastructure was in place and was utilized.
And Wyandanch is part of the town of Babylon. It's about equidistant between the Southern State Parkway and the LIE.
Correct.
And not too far east of Route 110, which is an important distinction we'll come to later. But I just want to make sure people are aware of exactly where Wyandanch is.
Correct, and as you were mentioning, it's also like in the heart of Long Island, so if people within Wyandanch want to go to, let's say, New York City, they can just hop on the LIRR on a 50-minute train ride to New York City, and the same point, they can also go out east on the train and go out to Riverhead as well.
You know, it's one of the interesting distinctions about Long Island as a suburb. You know, you have that city to the west, the greatest city in the world, but unlike other suburbs for Manhattan, you also have the South Fork and the North Fork and the ocean and the Sound and all the other great things, plus the tremendous schools. So Wyandanch is really right in the heart of it all.
Exactly. I mean, you have everything at your disposal, especially being so close to the railroad and also buses. It makes it almost, the ability to be car-free, very easy within Wyandanch Village.
And as County Executive Steve Ballone, who used to be the town supervisor and works very closely with Town Supervisor Rich Schaefer,
Right.
as his plans evolve, the mass transit is also going to become more evolved.
That's correct. So within like Wyandanch Village, the whole reason why it's situated where it is because we want to be close to the Long Island Railroad, and we're also close to the bus system infrastructure. So it makes it a great walkable community that's starting to develop within the Wyandanch area and just Suffolk County in itself.
And walkable is kind of a new concept for Long Island. I mean, we were
Yes.
built around the automobile, and that really didn't prove out to be the greatest idea ever. Talk to us a little bit about walkability. What does that mean?
Walkability means the ability to kind of go literally out your front door and be able to go to local retail shops or entertainment, or be able to use mass transit such as the railroad system or the bus, or even your own 2 feet like Fred Flintstone,
Right.
to get to anywhere within a close radius of your home.
And what you're looking then to create within the town of Wyandanch, with the Wyandanch Village, is that downtown environment where you can really kind of walk, get a bite to eat, have a beer, you mingle with your friends.
Right, creating a lifestyle where you're able to work and play exactly where you are. So for some residents, they're able to have their business within their home because they're working from the house or from their apartment, and then also have the ability to go downstairs to utilize services from a bank or have a bite to eat.
And that really ties into the popularity of, let's say, of Brooklyn, where you have that dynamic atmosphere where there's always something going on.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to create. So right now, we're just in development phases of trying to get all those retail uses, but that's essentially our overall goal for what we want to do.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about the specifics of Wyandanch Village and why somebody, particularly a young person or an empty nester, might want to live there. So you're watching Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, aka Mr. Long Island. My guest today is Tricia Green from the Wyandanch organization, and we'll go back in a moment to talk about Wyandanch Village.
Hi, I'm Tim Stead. I'm from Star Communications. We're a marketing support company. And if you need help with your next marketing project, please call 273-1900, or you can go to our website, starcommunications.us.
Welcome back to the second half of Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, aka Mr. Long Island. Our guest today is Tricia Green from the Wyandanch organization. And Tricia is talking about Wyandanch Village, a part of Wyandanch Rising. We learned about how important Wyandanch, the town, is because of where it's located on Long Island, right next to an economic epicenter on Route 110. Talk to us a little bit about Wyandanch Village, and why would a young person want to live there, or maybe even an empty nester?
Right. Well, Wyandanch Village is a great community in that it's going to have beautiful landscape once the springtime comes. But right now we have an apartment building at 40 Station Drive, which have 91 apartment units, which are beautifully decorated and styled, and has beautiful granite countertops, and has all those high-end amenities, but yet be affordable and stylish. And with that, we also have a ground floor of retail spaces. In addition to that, there's going to be a transit park, which is going to have an ice skating rink in the wintertime, and also have the ability in the summertime to have like outdoor concerts or just venues for people to enjoy.
One of the fun things, you hear the phrase transit-oriented development, which is tied into living near the transportation. And the one time I was there, or one of the times I was at the Wyandanch Village, Mr. Albanese was speaking about the plans for the village, and over his shoulder I could see the train pulling in and out of the station. I could see it, but I couldn't hear it.
Exactly, and that's one of the great points that you bring up, because the building was designed with the idea that you want to be close to transit, but you don't want to necessarily hear it while you're in the resident. So, as you mentioned, when you're inside of your resident, you barely hear the train come throughout the day.
And it's like you were pointing out, it's beautifully appointed. I mean, you feel good when you're in that apartment there.
Exactly, and again, done by design. We want to make it stylish yet affordable for young people, or even, as you mentioned, empty nesters, because we knew it was important, especially on Long Island, for you to want to be close to where you grew up, or if you have a house and you want to downsize, to be able to still be in that community and still have the amenities that you had if you lived at a house or lived close by.
Well, if you think about it, it's kind of interesting. Most of the housing arrangements on Long Island were built for tastes 50s, 60s, and 70s. Really, what you have in Wyandanch Village is something that to accommodate the young people of today and their different desires from, let's say, their counterparts from 30, 40 years ago.
Right, so they're stylish and affordable, but yet modern. So it takes into the idea of what we find that people are wanting to see and use.
And the idea is, as Wyandanch Village expands, and there are plans for expansion, it becomes its own downtown environment.
Exactly, and that's what we're hoping to do. So right now we have the first building at 40 Station Drive, which is completed and is open.
Okay.
And we have just a few more units that are available for leasing. And with that, I want to mention that for your viewers, if they mention that they've seen the Mr. Long Island show, they'll be able to utilize a $200 Amex gift card if they sign a lease.
Very nice.
Before the end of this year.
And they should feel free to use that to buy me something for Christmas, right?
They could.
Yeah.
But that's something exclusive to your viewers that we wanted to offer
Well, that's
for
terrific.
Station Drive.
And to me, that really, and thank you for that, but it really, to me, it symbolizes the extent that the Albanese organization is going to really please the people they anticipate moving into this place.
Oh, and that's our first concern, is always making sure that the residents are happy, and that we also put out a product that's, that looks good and is good for the people, because the building is actually LEED certified, and what that means is that it's a building that's built with the resident in mind for their overall body health.
And what's interesting too, when you talk about developers, someone like Mr. Albanese and the Albanese family, they have a tremendous legacy of building not only on Long Island but in the city, and this is something that's near and dear to them. They want to add to that legacy?
Correct. And so, as you mentioned, this is a project that we first did on Long Island that includes both the residential and the retail component, and it still utilizes all the core values of wanting to make sure it's a beautifully designed building as well as being green certified.
So you really get the best of both worlds.
Correct.
You get that downtown environment but you're still on Long Island, you're still 20 minutes from the beach, an hour from the city,
Exactly.
an hour from the North and South Forks. And if you work on Route 110 or even Hopog Industrial Park, it's a comfortable commute.
Exactly, or even if you work in Nassau County, within the Mineola area, it's very simple to just get on the Ronkonkoma Line train and be at the Wyandanch Village.
You know what, you're right, that's on that same branch.
Exactly.
And Wyandanch is just one stop east of Farmingdale.
Correct.
So you're going through Mineola one way or the other. Wow.
Precisely, yeah.
And Mineola's got all that happening stuff there with Launchpad and all that entrepreneurial stuff. This is tremendous. Wyandanch Village is going to be a real feather in Long Island's cap, and I wish you continued success with that.
Thank
So
you.
thank you very much for joining us. This has been another episode of Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, aka Mr. Long Island. We thank our guest today, Tricia Green from the Albanese organization, and we thank you for watching.